Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of the Emperor's Corner, man. Season 2, episode 3. We've been had an episode 3 like some time ago and shit. Anyway, thank you, everybody that's here, whether you're lurking, twerking, or berserking. I really appreciate y'all. This has always been a pleasure project of mine because I feel like I got the gift of gab, and I try to pronounce it to the world and stuff, as much as I can. And I love getting to know a streamer outside of the cameras and all that extra stuff, only because it's good for the momentum in the moment, and sometimes like we forget that people do have lives outside of this wacky world of Twitch and stuff. But anyway, man, enough about my feelings about the purple and stuff. Let us feast, ladies and germs. Let us feast. Today I have a very special guest, right? msarlandria. I like to call her high effort, all heart. She is literally the joy of trying. Some people play games to win, some people play to escape, and some people play because they love the feeling of trying. msarlandria is that kind of creator. She doesn't chase perfection. She doesn't pretend to be the best in the room. Instead, she built something better, a space where effort matters more than outcome, where laughter lives alongside mistakes, where high effort, low skill isn't self-deprecation, it's honesty. Because in a world obsessed with being the best, bro, she reminds people it's okay to just be real. This is the Emperor's Corner, and this is msarlandria. What? don't hit me with the crying.
Oh my God, you're gonna get me right off rip.
sorry.
That was so nice. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I put a lot of heart into those things. It's mainly
You
a
can
lot of
tell.
it's mainly a lot of I know, right? Aw. It's mainly a lot of stalking. Sorry. It's like a lot of stalk. Like a good percentage of it is just me and your stream going, "Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting." How are you today, msarlandria?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Happy to do this with you. Thank you so much for saying
Me
yes.
too.
Thank you for giving me your time today. I'm really appreciative of it.
Thank you for having me. I hope that I'm interesting.
Oh, you are
I'll do
very
my best.
interesting. Trust me. I only literally it's like I've had a few people reach out to me and be like, "This is gonna sound fucked up." The cat's out the bag, and they'll be like, "Hey, when am I gonna be a part of the corner?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. You got nothing I want to know about." That's so messed up. Sometimes you gotta tell them. Sometimes you gotta tell them, bro. But you were always somebody that I wanted to because season 1 was more about like me breaking down like like feeling comfortable, and once I got comfortable, then I could reach out
Yeah,
to people that that
right.
not that I don't have a friendship with you, but we're not as like as tight knit as I guess
Right.
like I could say like some of the other folks and stuff. So it's good to get to know people like that because now I get to build this bridge with you, and I think that's beautiful. Oh,
Yeah, I think it's a really cool way to um kind of feature people, but also get to know one another. So kudos
exactly.
to you for I know it's a lot of effort, so kudos to you.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Speaking of
Mhm.
effort, let's jump into our first segment.
Okay.
All right. Where did the quote high effort, low skill gaming come from?
Oh, it kind of just popped into my head, but it felt like nothing described me better because I
Mm.
try so hard. I really like people who watch me play are probably like, I've never seen someone who's such a bot, but trust me, I'm trying.
I like that. I like
So
that
it's a
though.
lot of effort, but the skill level is just, it's low.
I
So
love that.
that's kind of where it came from.
I love that. Do you think people hide behind skill because they're afraid of being seen trying?
That's a really good question. I don't think it's something I've really thought about. If I was skilled at something, I think I'd just want to do it, and I'd love to be able to show it.
No, that's
But
fair.
maybe they got good because they tried. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah.
What does effort mean to you beyond gaming? Like outside of gaming, do you apply your whole high effort, low skill to anything else?
Anything I try. I'm a bit of a perfectionist at times, so unfortunately, sometimes when I'm not immediately good at something, I quit it, which I think some of us do. But if it's something that really matters to me and I want to do well, I put in a lot of effort, um, a lot of effort because I just want it to go well. It means a lot to me.
Of
So
course.
I do. It does in every area of my life, whether it's work or my friendships or my family, I do try and put in a lot of effort.
I love that. Listen, I got to give you your flowers. You know, you're one of those people that I'll see you legit just slam yourself up against that immovable object over and over again until it budges, bro. That's every time I see you game, I'm looking in your streams and I'm seeing you go through something that it's like, you'll just be like, I'm not gonna quit. Like this has to
Yeah.
budge in order for me to get through this, and I love it. I love it. I really.
Well, I do feel sometimes I'm a bit of a slow learner when it comes to some
Mm,
things. So I try to understand that about myself and know that it might take me longer than the average person. But if I keep trying, I'll hopefully learn a little bit incrementally every time and eventually get there. And honestly, because part of myself is saying, like, oh, you're not going to do it, it's almost like I'm trying to prove myself wrong.
I love that. That's a
Yeah.
great mindset to have. Um, it's kind of funny because that kind of answers almost answers the next question that I had for you. When you fail on stream, what usually goes through your mind?
Well, I mean, I feel bad for the
Oh,
people watching.
okay.
I don't want, like I've said this before, I think you and I have mentioned it to one another, where I don't like to quit a game. Even if I'm not really enjoying it, I try and play a game all the way through because I almost feel a little bit of a sense of obligation. If somebody is tuning in to watch me play that game, I want to play the whole thing. So I don't know. I feel like like my chat keeps me accountable.
Oh,
And I
okay.
just want to, yeah, I just want to live up to any expectation they might have. And so I pushed myself, and I've been able to play and finish a lot of really cool games as a result that I probably would have quit earlier. So,
And finish she does. Miss Arlandi's got some of the best completion rates on any stream I've ever seen, bro. The Emperor Meta has about 400 games started on stream. I
oh,
probably
wow.
beaten five. Legit. Miss
Oh,
Arlandria's got
really?
like, yeah, seriously. Arlie's got like about 50, 60 plus started on stream, and she has finished every last one of them.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Hmm.
Beautiful. All right.
Thanks. I think there's only two I quit.
Oh, really? Okay. That's
Hmm.
interesting. Which two were they?
Resident Evil Zero.
Ah, you know what?
Um,
You don't got to say no more. Don't explain yourself on that. I get it.
yeah. And Horizon Zero Dawn. It's
Yeah, I
not that I
quit
didn't
that
think
one
it was a
too.
good game. It just wasn't. It was too big. I felt like it was too big, and I didn't want to do it on stream.
I
So,
didn't think it was. I feel
yeah,
that.
that's fair.
All right, so the next segment I'm gonna segue into is something that I've given you a bajillion compliments. Lord knows, especially if I drink, forget about it. You won't hear me. But it's about your community, right? And your community literally feels like a home. You know, from the minute you walk
Mm.
in, when you have NYX who's in the stream, or Key or Squash or B,
Yeah.
Fog, any of those wonderful people that the minute you walk in, they're just greeting you. They're like, "Oh my God,
Oh,
hi!"
wow.
It doesn't matter who it is and stuff. You've made people like me, Jax, Flava, et cetera, Nikolai. We've all feel welcomed every time we're in there. Literally, it's one of the most beautiful, most thoughtful, most just wholesome communities I have ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
When you started streaming, what kind of space did you want to create? Did you think it would be like this?
I did not know what to expect. Um, I have been in other streams or had watched other streamers, like maybe their VODs, so I didn't really see a chat. I genuinely didn't know what to expect. I didn't know who would show up. I hoped that they would be nice, but I know that the internet is kind of full of all kinds of people and some are not so nice. Um, I just I wanted to just keep the nice ones. And I don't take credit for that. It's the people that are in the, like, I don't control them, you know? They're just nice people, and so they say nice things and they're welcoming. So that's all the people who show up. That's not me. I'm super lucky. I'd rather be self-deprecating about myself, but when it comes to like my community, it's all them. They're great people.
That's beautiful. You didn't even try. Like that's just I can't even tell you how amazing that is, and it speaks a lot to your character too. Energy that you put out there into the so good, literally. Again, like I've probably given you 100 compliments on this for
I
all the
know
time.
we need to make jokes about me sometime soon. I feel more comfortable with
Aw.
that.
when did it start to really feel like a family to you?
um, I think early on because people kept coming back. I will. I'll give props. I joined a community where there's like a couple streamers and a lot of us share like an audience.
Mm.
And so I've been very lucky where early on, like a handful of people who supported some similar people that I hung out with or I knew came over and they hung out with me when they were able. And so when that first like handful of people kept showing up, I felt like, oh, okay, like they're reliable, they're kind, and I felt part of something bigger. I don't know if that
Nice.
really makes any
Yeah,
sense,
it
but
makes
and
perfect
it
sense.
just blossomed from there. Yeah.
What do you like people to feel while they're watching you?
Hopefully entertained.
Entertained, yeah.
Yeah, I hope it's entertaining, but I also like when I watch streams, it's usually because I want to laugh or I want something to like distract me from if something's not going well in my life or whatever. So I just hope it's a space that's like comfortable and can kind of take you out of whatever might be going on in your life that day or in that period of time, even just for a couple minutes. That's
Okay.
because I think, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the best streamer in the world or I can do it all. But even if it's just for a couple of minutes, I think that's helped me in the past. So,
On the days like you said where you just feel like you're having a rough day, and
mm,
like but you know that your stream is gonna be you know rough and stuff. Like you're just like, all right, cool. Like I'm not really looking forward to it, but I know my people carried me. How do you
yeah.
maintain that warmth?
It's hard sometimes. There are rare times where I just cancel my stream if I just really don't feel like I can push through. But more often than not, I've learned that if I just get started, I don't know anybody who ever has like an experience with like depression. Sometimes it's like the first two steps is all it takes to get a little bit of momentum. And they might not realize it, but the people in my chat are helping me as much as maybe I might be helping them. So sometimes I start off not really in the mood, but by the end, I'm so glad I streamed because I feel like infinitely better. And so I just try and remember that when I'm kind of having a rough start, I try and remember those moments, and that helps kind of take the first one or two steps.
I love that. What was can you pinpoint a moment where it was like it meant a lot more to you than you expected it to, just with your community and streaming?
I don't know if I can pinpoint an exact moment. I will tell you that I was playing a Star Wars game and there's a lot of bosses in it and I'm not necessarily great at fighting and I was failing a lot and I decided I wanted to beat this boss and like I even left for a bit and I came back and I might have tried like 100 times, like so many times, and everyone was like, no, you can do it, you can do it. And then when I finished they were like celebrating and I was just like, yes. It really felt like, and I contend to this day, it feels like I'm not gaming alone, you
Okay,
know?
I love
Like
that.
I'm playing, but there's people with me. And I need that, especially for horror games.
Not wrong.
Yeah.
And Miss Arlie goes straight headfirst into horror games. I gotta give her credit for that. Insane. All right, let's talk about Dave Grohl, Foo Fighters.
Okay.
What about Dave Grohl resonates with you?
Oh my gosh. I just think he's beautiful, first of all. But I don't know. A lot of things about him as a person I like. He came out of a tragedy when Kurt Cobain died
Hmm?
and um recorded an album and he played all the instruments and he sang and he wrote the songs and he took a lot of creative control with that band, and it's some of my favorite music. I don't listen to it as much as I used to, but like over the formative years, Foo Fighters was a huge, I don't know, part of my life. I've been to their concerts and listen, like I bump their music in my car all the time. Um, yeah, just I have some really fond memories of listening to the Foo Fighters and especially certain songs helping me get through, like, you scream it at the top of your lungs and you feel better after a bad day sort of thing. So, yeah, I just
So is it like
hold
his
a hold a place in my heart.
Nice. So is it like his story or his energy that connects more to you?
I like his energy. I think I
Okay.
like that he doesn't take himself too seriously. He's like one of the, they at one point were like one of the biggest bands on earth, but they always had these silly music videos, and they're
Yeah, they
like,
did. Yeah.
yeah, they were just sort of like, I don't know, they didn't seem to like it didn't go to their head. They just loved making music and having fun, and I thought it showed. I guess,
Of course.
yeah, Lisa Beef Girl.
Is there a song that like personifies Miss Arlandria? Like when it comes to like, like not just the streamer, but like the person when it comes to the Foo Fighters. Like just a song to be like, yeah, this is my anthem.
Ooh. Well, I don't know if you know this, but Arlandria comes from a Foo Fighters song.
Really? Which one? Is it?
Yeah,
Imagine if
it's called Arlandria.
that's funny. Like Arlandria from
Yeah.
Arlandria. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Um, but if I had to pick a song, the ones that I listen to, the ones that I listen to when I'm going through like the toughest times are Best of You, which might be a little like it's probably one of the most popular songs, but it's kind of just makes me realize I can push through. Like, you can get through it. And another one is called These Days, where it's just like an acknowledgement that bad shit happens. Like, it might have not happened to you yet. Bad shit does happen. It's a part of life. Everybody goes through it. And for whatever reason, it helps make me feel like I'm not alone. So those are the two I think I would recommend, and that, yeah, definitely resonate with me.
Love that. Fighters are goaded.
Yep.
I think the first time I ever heard them was that yeah, in the music video they're on a plane and Dave Grohl plays like 1,000 people. And it
Oh,
always
Learn to
cracks, yeah,
Fly?
Learn to Fly. Yeah,
Yeah.
when he's the teenage girl and he plays with his pigtails and he licks his lips, cracks me up every.
Yeah. Is the braces?
Yeah, with the braces. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. All right, games that stay with you, right? You told me a few
Ooh.
of your favorite games. There are a few of my favorite
Mhm.
games too. You know, I probably know the answer to this because I think it's the same reason why everybody gets pulled back. But what about Skyrim? Just like every time that it comes out, it just drags you back in.
Oh man, Skyrim was the first real game that I played that was big. Like,
Mm.
it felt big, and like I had choice in where I could go and what I can do. Um and how I chose to interact, was I nice to people? Did I cut them down? Um do you join the thieves guild or not? Like, I really felt like this is an enormous world. There was a lot of lore, and I won't even pretend like I know even half of it. I never knew, like, am I Stormcloak? I don't know. Like, I just never knew. But there was always something. Every quest had a story. Like, every single one of them had a story, and it was interesting. I loved being a sneaky archer. That was my favorite because I'm afraid of fighting. So I was able to, like, shoot people from far away, and it made me feel really tactical. But yeah, there's just something about Skyrim. It's hard to even put it into words, but it's a classic game that I'm sure if I picked it up today, I could play for hundreds of more hours because I put a lot of time into that game.
I feel that. That's why it
Yeah.
stays in the uninstalled list forever. Because if I play that, the backlog's really gonna be upset.
Yeah.
Now, now you recently beat this bad boy on stream, right? I had a lot of fun, watching you do this because you literally personified that cowboy life. But it is a heavy game. It is a very heavy
Oh,
game. What did Red Dead Redemption 2 leave with you emotionally?
pain.
Yeah?
Oh man, that game. I still think about it. I still watch like video essays on it and on the characters on YouTube. Um, it's a masterpiece, and it was like playing a movie,
Mm.
which was very cool. And every single character, even like the side ones, like Charles was kind of a side character. Even though you're playing as Arthur and that you deal with Dutch and stuff like that a lot, even these side characters that you kind of go on missions with now and then, they all had like an evolution. So it wasn't just Arthur that was changing. It wasn't just Dutch that was changing. Everybody was changing, and uh, the way I like that you had different endings. I got the good ending, thankfully. I don't know what was so good about it. It made me cry a lot.
Aw.
Um, but it just was like a really beautiful example of somebody who maybe didn't lead the best life, but when he kind of got faced with his mortality, he he just wanted to make sure that he helped people before it was the end. And I don't know, it really moved me. It really moved me. I still, yeah. I don't know if I could play it again. Not yet. It still hurts too much.
Aw.
But I
I,
love the game.
I don't. I remember you were very much. You loved being a cowboy. You loved doing the hunts. You
I
loved
did.
just the
Yeah.
everyday stuff of living back in them days. I enjoyed watching. What?
I actually, I don't think a lot of people know. I started when I first got a PC, it was for, I did Red Dead Redemption role play.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so I spent a lot of time like just in that world hunting and like being I was a leader of a lady gang. Well, I was also the newspaper editor. I did a lot of fun stuff in Red Dead. I think the universe itself is just really cool. Really, really cool.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Um, two old school games that I feel like mean a lot to a lot of people that are around our age and stuff. When you think of Donkey Kong Country and Mario World, what are you reminded of?
Oh, being a kid, all my friends getting together in a basement with snacks and for hours at a time just playing games and laughing, and it was just simpler times and so much fun. When you were like, I think about Donkey Kong, there's the one where you're in the mines
Yeah.
in the cart and you're trying to jump, and we were trying to spell out Kong and we're trying to hit the right things, and especially when you were going up, there's one you had to jump two up, and it was so you had to time it really well, and I wasn't always good at that, so sometimes I pass the controller to a friend and then they do it for me and then they pass it back to me. It just was such a unifying fun experience. I loved those games. I
Uh,
loved them.
I love that. I love. All right, we're gonna go into a little bit of a. I can't really call it emotional. The questions are a little bit heavy.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
too, but this got to go into a little bit of family influence. What lesson from your parents stay with you till this day?
Oh God. Oh, I mean, that's really tough because my parents have taught me everything. Um, I I say this maybe because I literally just had this conversation with my dad last night. Um, was just be a good person, and being a good person doesn't mean you only do it when people are watching.
Mm,
And it doesn't mean it needs to be advertised or known. You just being a good person is just being good. That's it. It's consistency. And my parents taught me that if you do that, it will pay off. I don't know if it's necessarily karma, but that it just your life will be good. I guess it will be fruitful. Um, and I try really hard to live by that. I mean, I'm human, I make mistakes and stuff, but I just try to be a good person as often as I can. I don't know if that's a lesson.
oh no, it is it is.
Yeah.
Um, so your aunt Marie, right? You mentioned
Yes.
her as being like a big part of your life too. How did she shape you?
Um, okay, I'll try not to cry. My Aunt Marie was my next door neighbor, and my parents left to go work out in the Alberta oil fields when I was still a teenager. So they left me to live in their house and keep going to school while they were on the other side of the country. And my Aunt Marie was a single, well, she was widowed, mother of four kids. Um, Three of them had left the nest, and she just had her youngest son still there. And she just took care of everything. So my relationship with her was really good because she helped take care of me, um, and gave me a safe place to go if I missed my parents or anything like that. But she was really, really smart this is what her and I had a lot of common was like we're very book smart, but like common sense wise, not so much. And she just was kind of like a silly, fun, unafraid person. So if she wanted to travel, she'd travel by herself. She didn't care, and she was really excelled professionally, and but still loved to drink wine and hang out with people and have lots of fun and do her own thing. And so just seeing like a successful woman who was very true to herself despite, she was a breast cancer survivor and, lost her husband really young, like despite all of the hurdles that life threw at her, she was just a very inspiring person to get to like be around. So yeah, she meant a lot to me.
I love that.
Mhm.
Aunts are literally like the second mothers that
I call her my second mom
I
because she
love that.
really I love my mother, and it's not to say my mother wasn't there, but like there were times physically my mom wasn't there.
Mm.
And I always knew I could count on my Aunt Marie because, she was next door, and she just was there for me. And she always did these silly, cute little things that made me feel like not left out. So yeah, she was good.
Do a lot of their personalities show up in your content?
Like my loved ones that I feel have influenced me.
Yeah, like your
They're
mom, your dad, and your aunt. Like, do they like little things that they do that might show up in your content where you're just like, oh yeah, I learned that from my dad, or I learned that from my mom, or my aunt does that.
um I think so. I don't know if it's something I would readily identify in the moment,
Okay.
but like my dad has always been very warm and well, this is not to say my mom isn't, but if I had to describe them, my dad is very like warm, welcoming, compassionate, generous, doesn't ask for anything back. And I feel like, not to say I'm perfect or anything like that, but I try to model that when I can. But at the same time, my mom is very strong, very determined, don't take no shit, stand up for people, at like an advocate. And so I think they've helped me find a balance between being a good person but not being stupid,
Okay.
not letting people walk all over you. So I think I in streams I try to be really nice to people and I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, but if they cross the line, I will acknowledge it on the spot.
I love that. That's how
And I
that's how
feel
it
like
should be.
that, yeah, that shows up.
Okay. What are like? Excuse me. Geez. What are like some good memories that you carry with you about
My parents.
parents and Aunt Marie? Or you could even like separate it. Like, all right, I got this one with my mom,
Okay.
this one with my dad, and then this one.
Well, Aunt Marie comes to mind readily because I was thinking about this last night. I used to help her when her youngest son went away to university. It was just her and I that lived next door to each other, and they had a dog. And she had two jobs, so she wouldn't get home until late. So I helped take care of the dog. The dog's name is Keisha. She's a cutie. And so for my birthday, I got this card from I thought it was Marie, but I opened it and it was like a paw print that was in mud smeared all over this card, and it just said, "Thanks for always taking care of me. Love, Keisha." And
Aw.
I still have it. It's just really cute. That's a really good memory that I have. I loved that. Um, there's so many with my parents. My dad and I love going to the movies together and concerts together. So we do that a lot. Went to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers together. That was really enjoyable experience. And my mom and I used to fight a lot when I was a kid. Our relationship was not good when I was younger, but when I got older and she lost her mom, so my grandma, and then she kind of had some health issues, we got a lot closer. So over the last couple of years, we've been trying to spend a lot more time together. We do things one on one. And so I have a lot of really good memories of us like going to a spa or going to a movie or dinner. We do girls' nights and stuff like that. So um, it's hard to pick out one because I
Oh, of
have a
course,
lot.
of course. Listen, that's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. The fact that you have so many that you just
Yeah.
can't really pinpoint us.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back into Happy Land a little bit.
Okay. Whew.
No more heaviness. No more heaviness.
I didn't cry, thank God.
So you always seem to have like a lot of fun gaming. Even when you're flustered, or or that little noise that you make that always cracks me up. I can't even try to imitate it, but you know, what is it that like? Because it's like I feel like you a lot of times you just pick joy over like what people, the stigma of what it's like to be like the best. And what keeps gaming fun for you during those.
Um, well, thank you. That's a nice thing to say. I don't know that I'm always like that. I think I try. But don't get me wrong, I'm overthink. As soon as I hit that end stream button, I'm overthinking.
Oh.
I'm anxious. But the last thing I want to do, because I don't necessarily feel comfortable when people like are on stream raging. It makes me feel
Mm.
weird. Like I don't know if I just absorbed that. I don't like that feeling. And I don't want to make other people who are watching me feel that way. So I think I just try really hard, even though I'm not always successful, to just, if I feel ragey, push it down, push it down, save it till later, take a break, go to the washroom.
Have you
I
ever
try
had
and
like
do
a
stuff like
hiccup?
that.
Where like it was like, oh, I have to
Yeah.
catch myself. Really?
You'll have heard me a couple times. I say it like, I'm sorry for whining, guys. I'm sorry for getting frustrated, you guys, because I feel like I get really like, as an example, Resident Evil Zero. The reason I had to quit was because I was a one hit as Rebecca and I was trapped in a hallway with one of those like long branchy arm things. I couldn't get past it. And everything I tried wasn't working and I was starting to get really upset.
Oh.
And I felt like I was getting really whiny and like I wanted to finish this game and I couldn't and I didn't want to quit. And I did. People even said like we could hear it in your voice and I was like, "No." I didn't want that, but it happens. I'm human, right?
Of course.
But yeah, it happens now and then.
How do you protect your joy of gaming?
Um well, I'll be honest, I took a break here in the end of January and February because I won't say I stopped having fun, but I'm a very organized person
Yeah.
and I found myself over organizing. I was so committed to a schedule, beat this game by this date so you can start this next date, blah blah blah. I wasn't I was trying to hit a certain chapter mark per stream as opposed to just enjoying the game. And so I knew when I started to be like, oh God, I gotta beat this game. Or this, I was like kind of going over in my head and obsessively going over my schedule. I was like, I need a break. First of all, to like let those feelings dissipate and to just like recalibrate because this is not where I want to be. I want this to be fun. And if I'm not having fun, I don't think other people are gonna have fun. So that really helped. And now I play when I want to play. You know, that's it.
That's a true reflection of yourself, and I thank you so much for sharing that with us. That's a lot to like admit, because I've also been in those passageways where I'm just like I got to do this by this, or it just
Hmm.
doesn't become fun anymore. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
You start it with good intentions, I
Yeah.
think, but sometimes you become too beholden to it and it becomes, you're almost like, at least for me, I became like inflexible. Where I needed to hit this target by this date. I needed to finish this game by this date because this other one was coming out. And I'm like, who cares? Nobody is holding me to this but me. So I should be more generous with myself to just enjoy it and finish it when I finish it. So yeah, I'm lucky I had some people in my life that I was able to talk to about it and they helped me reach that conclusion because I wouldn't, it's not that I couldn't come to it myself, but I had some friends that helped me get there. So, yeah. And as a result, I'm enjoying streaming again because I
Oof.
wasn't towards the end of last year.
Love that.
Mhm.
Was it hard for you to admit that to yourself? Like where it was just like, yeah, like I
Yes.
can't. Yeah.
Yep. Um, I think I said at the beginning I'm a bit of a perfectionist,
Yeah.
and I do try really hard. So I like to be organized, and once I put things on paper, I feel like I have to commit to that. And I'm gonna let myself down, other people down. I don't know why. Um, so even telling myself, "Hey, you set this expectation, you're not gonna meet it, and that's okay," is not always easy. But I'm glad I did. And like I said, I'm glad I had people that helped me see like it's okay. If you're not having fun, the people watching you are not going to have fun. And to me, it was kind of like an eye opener. Like that's what I'm doing it for. Like why am I doing this if I'm not having fun and other people aren't having? It doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
So
Yeah, no,
yeah.
definitely. How do you protect your energy now? Like as opposed to like letting stuff like that really bombard you these like what do you do? Do you have like a ritual or
Um. Well, I used to put a schedule at the beginning of every week that said I'm playing this game on this date.
yeah.
Now I just say I'm streaming on this date. That's it.
Mm.
I don't say what game I'm playing. I decide like that day. What am I in the mood for? Do I want to start this game? If I do, then I'll start that game. And it's happened recently. I wanted to start a game and I had technical issues and I was like, oh shit, what am I going to do? I was playing Ghost of Tsushima off stream
Okay.
and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play Ghost of Tsushima. You know, if you want to stick around and watch, you can watch. That's what we're going to do today. So I just kind of needed to give myself permission to just have more fun and to let loose a little bit. It's a lot of self-talk.
Oh, of course, of course. What do you consider a safe space for yourself?
I think it depends on the day.
Okay.
Um, I spend a lot of time by myself. And usually that's my safe space. But it's also can be dangerous if you're like an anxious person or an overthinker. So sometimes my safe place is hanging out with friends and getting out of my head and out of my isolation. Even if it's not talking about what's bothering me, it could just be have fun
Yeah,
and
of
it helps
course.
ease that tension a little bit. Yeah, so I think it depends on the situation.
Is it more like IRL friends, or do you do like a good balance of both, where you'll jump into a Discord with a bunch of people that you enjoy being with, and maybe go
It's
out with the
definitely
girls?
both.
Okay.
It's both. Yeah, I don't really like to be in big groups, whether
Mm.
it's online or in person. It'll be one or two people, usually one. I prefer one-on-one. We might just chat, we might play a game together. Alternatively, as an example, last night, I like, I have life stuff going on like anybody else, and I called my parents earlier this week and said, I want to have tacos and I want to watch a movie and hang out with you guys. That would really help remind me of what is important.
Damn,
And
bro, that
it's
got me
them.
emotional. I'm supposed to be the one making you. You can't be getting me all riled up.
So that's what I did. I hung out with my folks last night. We had some food, we watched a movie, we gabbed, and I had a nice little heartfelt convo with my dad when he drove me home. And I don't know, it just kind of helps remind me that because unfortunately, there's bullshit online. Not always, but it's there. And sometimes I think it's easy to make it feel like it's bigger than it is. So having that helps remind me like, oh, that is nothing. It's a mosquito in a room, you know? It's nothing. So that's what I did. That's what helps. Talk to your friends that you trust on whether it's in person or online, and hang out with your family or close loved ones. That helps keep me sane.
I think I got to take a page out of your book. Sometimes when the world gets too loud. No, that was beautiful. Like,
Oh, thanks.
that was really like I got nothing. That was good.
Oh, thank you. I'm very blessed with honestly, I know not everybody has maybe good relationships with their parents, or maybe they don't have their folks around anymore or what have you. I talked about this with my dad last night. I said I would be a different person without them,
Mm.
and I'm so like stupidly lucky to have really really good relationship with them and that they're good people to look up to. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right,
I
I like
try to
that.
remind myself of that a lot.
Um, so do you feel like kindness on Twitch or Discord is really like? Do you feel like it's underrated a bit, just because like how things can be blown out of proportion?
Um, I think I think a couple things. I think online spaces are very cool, but you're missing half of communication. So you're not seeing body language.
Mm.
You're getting time to like cultivate responses, to think about, type things out. You don't get to see the impact that you have on somebody, whether it's on their face after they read a message that you might send or things like that. So I think, unfortunately, whether it's intentional or not, sometimes those online spaces can be more hurtful. It could be miscommunication, but it can be more hurtful. Um, so I don't necessarily think that kindness is not present. I just think sometimes it might be more difficult, if that makes any sense. To maybe
Okay.
to push through.
Oh, of course. Last question on this topic.
Okay.
When have you ever? When was the most supported you've ever felt by your community while you were going through something IRL? You don't have to go into details or whatever. But it could just be, like something happened and then this person, and you just felt very like, you know.
Well, I'm a kind of a private person.
Mm.
I don't always get into the details of what's going on in my life, but whether people realized it or not, when my mom was going through health issues, that was one time. Both my mom and my dad did go through some health issues sort of simultaneously. And then before that, when I lost my job, um, I don't think that I didn't really get into the details, so I didn't talk about how I was feeling. Just kind of like might have mentioned that it was happening.
Yeah.
Um, but having a place I could go to distract myself, having people who are so supportive and so kind to me and kind to each other and watch them be kind to each other, because that shit makes my heart swell. Um, it helped me get through some really difficult times. Like I said, I don't think they really fully appreciate how much they uplift me. I try to tell, but how do you tell people that? I don't know.
No, you're right.
Um,
You're right.
but yeah, those I think losing my job at one point and the health issues my parents went through, um, they really, really helped me get through that.
I love that. That was you know what? It's funny. I thought the parent one would have been like we were talking about Anne Marie, but that one was woof, that was that was good. That was good.
Oh, we all have stuff going on. Everybody does,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
and some people are more vocal about it than others, but everybody, like even your worst enemy, is going through some shit. You know.
Oh no, Jax, no crying this. He almost got me at one point. We had to gangster up a bit, I had to pull up my britches. I had to fix my fishnets. Okay, what do you think is one thing that just should never change? Whether it's about you, the way your community, or even your outside life. Just one thing that you hope never changes.
That's a really difficult question. I mean, I know what I want to say, but it's not realistic. I want my parents to be here forever.
You know what? You could
Um,
you could go with that too. There's nothing wrong with that.
um, what I hope never changes. Hmm. I hope we always find ways to be kind to each other and also kind to ourselves. Um, because especially as we're more online, there's so much comparison, there's so much competition, there's so much I need to get numbers, I need to do that. But all that like noise can really damage your self-esteem and your confidence and relationships with one another. I just hope we can all just continue to find ways to like be kind to each other, but also kind to ourselves, because I think we're all of us for the most part are kind of shitty to ourselves. Like there's a lot of negative self-talk that we do. Um I'm just as guilty of it, but yeah, I hope we can figure out. I don't know. I'm not saying anything like profound here because it's not to say that we used to be really kind to ourselves and we're not anymore, but I just think that the culture of online spaces and social media and blah 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 makes it more difficult. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, yeah, you got it. Like I understood what you were saying.
Yeah. Okay.
What would you consider growth of yourself?
Um, oh my gosh. I don't, I mean, without getting into too much detail, when I first kind of came around streaming communities, like kind of COVID-ish time,
Mm-hmm.
was like the darkest period of my life. I was
Mm.
going through a very, very difficult time, and there pretty much wasn't an area of my life that I didn't have something wrong, or that I wasn't struggling with. And not to say my life is perfect because it certainly isn't, but if I try and compare myself today to that point in time, I can definitely see growth.
Okay.
Um, whether it's just, pulling myself out of survival mode a little bit, learning to, I think probably the biggest thing I did, the biggest change I made was to stop trying to deal with it all by myself. Um, and to actually talk to people, like talk
Okay.
to my friends, talk to my parents, about what is going on in my life because I really tried to just keep that all to myself and manage it myself and had really like devastating anxiety as a result. And opening up, being like vulnerable enough to open up has changed those anxiety levels significantly. So I can only encourage people if you have people you trust, don't be afraid to talk about what's going on in your life.
You hear that,
It's not
ladies and
easy though.
germs? It's not easy, no, but
It's not easy.
you
But
know,
that's definitely the biggest growth that I had is I don't suffer in silence like I used to.
okay. You know what? I appreciate that. That's I
Mm,
don't think nobody should suffer in silence. So
I agree.
the fact that you were big enough to realize like yeah, I can't do this no more. Like these alone battles are killing me.
It sounds stupid when I say it out loud, but I really had this internal monologue or whatever that told me I'm a strong, independent woman. And a
Mm.
strong, independent woman means X, Y, and Z. And it turns out that's not true at all. But it took me the last couple years to figure that out.
Okay. All right. So we're almost closing up, but telling you the Canadians go quick, bro. Because Ella was done in like 5 seconds. It's like it's like I love it. So to get to know like we've gotten to know a lot about you, you know. But there's a couple of things that I would like to ask you to kind of like give the people
Okay.
insight into who Arlie is when the camera goes off.
Okay.
Who are you off stream?
Um, I mean, I like to think that I'm the same, but I also think everybody, as soon as they hit live, it's like they take, let's say if your personality is an 8, they always take it or they try to take it to a 10. So I'm definitely more subdued. Um, I still scream when I'm scared. I still cry when I'm sad. I still do all those things. But I'm more introverted. Like you said at the beginning of this call, that you're surprised that I'm socially anxious and socially awkward. I am a very awkward person. I try really hard not to be on stream. And
Mm.
stream has helped me come out of my shell. But yeah, I'm definitely more subdued. I like to laugh at, everything, including myself. But yeah, I'm definitely an introverted type of person. And yeah, keep to myself quite a bit, I think.
Do you
I don't know
feel
if
like
that
that's
it helps.
like a defense mechanism, or it's just something that you've been doing your whole? It's like it makes you feel comfortable just keeping to.
Um, Probably both. Like I said, my folks moved away when I was like 17.
Mm.
So I've been living alone for a really long time and doing like adult tasks without like adult support for a really long time. And so I've just learned to depend on myself a lot.
Okay.
And and I'm introverted, so I find myself just sort of like really, I'm comfortable in my own space, in my own world, and um, I enjoy my company. Like I don't really often feel my mother hates it. She'd like me to get up more often, but I'm just happy at home. I love it. I love being alone and, reading or doing whatever it is that I do. Um, but I think it probably does come from a bit of a defense mechanism as well. It's sort of like a protection sort of thing. It's a dual function, I think.
Of course.
Mhm.
All right. So paint me a picture here. Right.
Okay.
Nothing bad is happening in your life. Just
Yeah.
you're chilling, right?
Yeah.
What does the most at peace Arlie look like? Like, what is she doing?
She has a job that she likes.
Okay.
Doesn't suck the soul out of her. I mean, I don't know if that's realistic, but uh, I guess I'll say it's a challenging job that uses my skills, but also stretches them a little bit. Um, so that's one thing. I have my IRL friends. I have my online friends. I have my family close that I spend lots of time with. I game, but the one thing, if I could say one thing missing from my life right now, is travel. Like,
Okay.
if it's if this ideal world, nothing bad's happening, that Arlandria has a trip planned,
Where would you like
and
to
she's
go?
going somewhere. Everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, I've been to a couple places, but the next place I'd like to go, I really want to see Greece, but I also really
Ooh.
want to go to Africa.
Okay.
I want to see a lion. Hopefully, it's not the last thing I see.
That's good. That's good. Good.
Yeah, I love traveling. I haven't traveled in 10 years and I miss it deeply. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's what looks good for me.
Love that. Honestly, that sounds like an ideal. What are some things that you're still learning about yourself?
Um, hmm. I feel like we should all be striving to like learn more about ourselves and also unlearn maybe some bad habits that we have. Um, hmm. I'm learning that I dwell. I'm a dweller. Um, I make things worse, or I think things are worse than they are. So I think that's catastrophizing.
Okay.
I do that. Um, geez. I mean, there's things I'd love to improve. I'd like to eat vegetables, but more. Does that count? I did a 23andMe and found out that I'm predisposed to not liking green vegetables,
Interesting.
which I immediately told my mother as proof.
That's funny. It's I love how that stands out. It's not like some people go, "Hey, look, guys, I'm 80% North German," and then they'll just be like, "But you were like, nah, look at the vegetables right here. I told you, mom."
Yeah, I was like, all those times you forced me to sit in the dark because I wouldn't eat your peas, it wasn't my fault. I mean, I think I'm learning a little bit every day. The more I learn, the more confused I am, though, to be honest. So I'm just trying to go with it. I had a coworker tell me something years ago, and I try so hard to remember it. He was retiring, and we went for lunch, and we were chatting, and he said, if you want to think about life like you're on a river and you're in a boat, sometimes you paddle to change the direction, and sometimes you have to learn to let the current take you and stop fighting against it. And you will be happier when you can identify when those moments are.
Jesus.
And he told me, like, he's like, because you're so desire to be in control, you're paddling against the river way too much. Just let it take you where it needs to take you until it calms down, and then guide yourself. And I was like, oh my God,
That's
that changed it for me.
that's like Pocahontas
So,
levels
yeah.
of Disney advice right there. Jeez.
Yeah, so I try. Oh, I'm not successful all the time. I'm definitely still, I want to be in control, but I'm trying so hard to learn when to let go. It's not easy, but yeah, if I could learn to find the balance that he seemed to have found, I think I'd be so much happier.
When you say letting go, do you mean like if someone says something to you and you took it the wrong way, or just like issues that you might have, or is it more like an internal thing?
Well, both, I think. I don't like when things, I saw something on TikTok, I think it might have been yesterday, where it's like it has all these phrases and then it has a circle around certain words. And it's like things you control and things that you can't. So I'm trying to learn that the things that are outside of the circle, what people think about you, external events and, like a lot of things, I can't control them. And I need to be able to sit with the discomfort of not liking them instead of trying to force them to get to a place that works better for me. Um, I have a desire, I guess, for wanting everything to be balanced and everything to be smooth. And
Hmm.
you can't. So that's the kind of, I guess, letting go that I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, last question before we jump into the Emperor's Court.
Ooh.
Arlie, if you had like you had an amazing stream, right? But somebody jumps into your stream, but they don't say it, but they're having like legit the worst day ever, right? They don't say nothing to you.
Mhm.
When your stream's over and they message you, "Hey, thank you so much. I was having a rough day, but you streaming like really just helped perk up my mood a lot." What does that mean to you?
It has happened. Um, it has happened recently. Actually, when I took a break, I had people reach out to me to tell me how they were going through difficult times and watching me stream and how much it meant to them and stuff like that. I cry every time.
Aw. Why does it get you so emotional?
Because I I don't think we as like humans necessarily understand the impact that we have on one another, both good
Mm,
and bad. And so, I try to be a good person, but you don't know unless you tell one another, you don't really know if what you're doing matters. So to find out that it does is extremely humbling and also just like it's beautiful. And it's makes me feel so good, but it also makes me feel bad to know people are going through dark shit. I hate that people suffer. Um, and I know because I've gone through that shit myself. There's creators that I've watched or movies that I've watched. I watch them on loops when I'm in a bad place. And sometimes I'm like, God, I want to tell the person who wrote that movie or the actors in that movie, like, you got me through some shit. So to think that little old me, big ding dong over here, who's just, flapping around, could have a positive impact on someone like that, that feels really nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, last segment, the Emperor's Court. If your life were a video game, what difficulty is it on right now?
Normal,
Normal? Okay. Why normal?
I think. Well, it's not easy.
Okay,
That's for
fair.
damn
Fair.
sure. But I am safe. I am fed. I am loved. So it's not nightmare. You know, I think it's normal.
What strength of yours do you feel like goes unnoticed?
I do not think about things like this about myself. I'm usually thinking about all the critical things, Meta. Um,
My job to make you think.
I don't know. I'm very loyal.
Okay.
Um,
Do you wish people would notice that more about you? Like, damn, Marley's really loyal, or do you think it's just something that you wish that you prefer to go unsaid?
I hope that the people that I give my loyalty to see it.
Okay.
They don't need to say it. And I hope that when things get tough, they know they can count on me. I think that's all I really need or want. But I do feel that it's a strength that I have. Sometimes it doesn't feel like a strength, but uh yeah, I do think like I'm a good friend.
Okay.
Um and but I'm also I will say this cuz to talk about flaws because we all have them. I'm a good friend to a point, but then I'll like I have this thing, I think it's called like the door slam. If you like betray me, or like really, really hurt me deeply, I have a really hard time forgiving. That's definitely a flaw I have.
Without getting
You know,
too interpersonal, when's the last time that you had to shut the door on something that you really loved because it was just wasn't benefiting you?
probably a couple years,
Yeah,
luckily. Yeah,
yeah, that's good.
two
I
or
mean, it's
three
not good that
years.
you had
Yeah.
to do it, but it's good that it's not an every year occurrence.
I
Suck.
I think if I was going to summarize it, like I think a more balanced person would recognize when uh people are not treating them right and stop it earlier. But I'm really loyal, and so I will make excuses and make excuses until one day they've all added up, and I'm like, you know what? No. And then it's a cutoff. I don't know if that's really fair, but that's kind of
No, I
what I
mean,
do.
I think it's proper. I give people the whole if you breathe funny, you're out of here type of mentality. Like I have that.
Yeah.
No, because at the end of the day, like if your friends are your friends and your friends know exactly what upsets you, that should just accidents happen. All right, cool. You could memorize that. Sometimes people go through avenues, and it's just like, why would you do that to me? Like it's so weird, especially like on the interweb space.
I try really hard to be open with my friends and talk about stuff. Um, but that's difficult to do. Having vulnerable conversations is really difficult to do
Oh, I
sometimes.
agree,
So,
definitely.
yeah.
Because you'll
But
you'll be
yeah, I
there all upset, trying not to cry, then the other person will be like, "Why are you so emotional?" And it'll just trigger the hell out of you.
it's like there's this meme of like what I do for others that they wouldn't do for me. And it's like you put yourself down on top of a puddle and they like use you to get over the puddle. And sometimes I like that sometimes how loyal I feel like I am. Like I would step in front of a bullet for you. And sometimes I'm like, "Oh, I don't know if they would do the same thing." But I don't know. I'd rather maybe be a little too loyal than not enough, I guess. That
That's
was
fair.
yeah.
All right. Last question.
Okay.
The curtain closes on Arlie tomorrow, right?
Like I
Streaming
die?
wise, yeah, more or less, yeah.
Okay.
What? Like I die? That was horrible.
Yeah.
What do you hope you leave behind for people? Like, what would you want them to remember the most about you? What would you want them to miss? Like, all of it.
Hmm. I don't think about that at all. I think about other people leaving me.
Oh,
Um, yeah. I hope that people felt like at the end of the day when it all comes out in the wash, because I'm not a perfect person and I'm not going to sing even though that was the perfect opportunity to do it. Um, that despite mistakes that I make, overall, I left a more positive impact than a negative one. I guess.
okay.
That I was a good I had a good impact on their life. That's what I think that's all I can anyone could really hope for.
Okay.
Um, not out here solving world hunger,
Of
Like
course.
I'm not gonna leave a lasting impact maybe on the world, and I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to leave a positive impact in the people in the space that I occupy.
Well, I mean, that's literally that's the best way to to think about stuff when it comes to life, especially if the curtain does close on you tomorrow. Suck, but it's best to kind of like hope that people take a piece of you. When they're just like, all right, yeah, like I'm doing this because Alondria was that kind of person. I like to think that that would be a beautiful send off.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice.
Before
Who
we close
knows?
out, is there anything that you'd like to say to the people? Anything that you'd like to put out there for folks, whether it's a piece of advice or
I just feel weird saying good things about myself. I feel very awkward about it. You definitely focus on the positive stuff, which is lovely. It's just very difficult for me to like, because that's one of my flaws is I'm a self-deprecating overthinker. So I appreciate you helping me to think about those things.
Mm.
First of all, because I definitely, yeah, spend more time dwelling on the negative stuff. Um, I don't know that I have anything to say. Thank you for selecting me for this. This
Of
was
course,
really nice.
of course.
I look forward to future ones. Um, Jax is a nerd. And yeah, watch Meta.
When can we see you? When can we see you again? Like, what's the next time Miss Arlandia goes live?
I stream every Monday and Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you miss it, I edit my VODs down into digestible episodes that I upload onto YouTube. So,
And
yeah.
make sure y'all check those out, bro. Them bad boys keep me busy in the morning and at the gym. Good. Very entertaining.
Oh, thank you.
Because I be running out of shit to watch. There's only so many Shark Attack in Australia, 1935, that I can see in a day that I can stomach. So Miss Arlandria is a nice little balance. You know, Shark Attacks, Miss Arlandria.
Oh,
You know?
thank you.
So in closing, right? Game of Lover, it'll be on YouTube. I always put these on YouTube. You know, like I cut out the meat of like the intro and stuff, and you guys just get a full 55 to an hour minutes of the wonderful Miss Arlie. All right, folks. So in closing, right? Not everyone needs to be the best. Some people just need to show up. And one person that does show up a lot, whether it's you slide into her DMs to ask her if she could play this game with you, or you know you're looking for a little bit of encouragement, Miss Arlie is that person. She has built a beautiful community, even though she tells me that she can't take credit, so I'll give her that. Right? And she's also built such a beautiful space for new idiots like me, Jax, Leva, and everyone else and stuff to just to show up, have fun, and she could show these old dudes that you don't gotta be a curmudgeon online. Oh, and that's and I hope everyone takes that with them after this stuff. This is the Emperor's Corner. Arlie, thank you so much for joining me. You have no idea how much this.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh, thank you. I hope I did well. I don't know. I'm already like reflecting back and like, ooh, did I
No,
say
you
that
did
well?
great. You did great. Like guys, give Arlie like I'd say a round of applause, but I don't got that button on here. But just try to give Arlie like the like like she did an amazing job. You know, in and out, in and out.
Thank
Like
you.
the whole interview was just the Canadians both killed it and stuff, man. You know, everyone killed it, but the Canadians did kill it too. Up and there she goes right there.
They're, I guess they were sleeping behind the bar.
No. You're not interested in a trade, are you?
Jesus, that laugh.
Never mind. I don't know. I was thinking there.
I think their voice box is
It's this alcohol.
having issues.
It's the alcohol.
Yo, that laugh. God damn. That shit came from the soul. That was right in the diaphragm and just woof. Oh god, that was good. All right, Arlie, thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day, please. Me. And this will be on YouTube soon, and I'll definitely let you know when that is. All right.
Okay.
Take care of yourself, Arlie.
Thank you. Bye.
Well then, folks. That wraps up episode 3. I am gonna come right back ish, but I have to end stream because I want this to be like its own thing. You know, obviously I can't chop up 5 hours of me playing Dragon Ball Z after like the Arlie thing and stuff. You know, I like this to be like its own, thing. You know, I can't be going off that back and forth rigmarole. For anyone in Arlie's community that jumped in to support her, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It makes me so happy when the streamers community shows up and is just like, hi, guys, oh, of course, Arlie, of course. It makes me so happy when the community shows up and just like and supports the streamer that I'm interviewing. That shit means more to me and stuff because look, guys, I'm not sugarcoating nothing. Y'all don't gotta follow me. Y'all don't gotta do none of that. Just the fact that you were here for Arlie was beautiful. Like that means the absolute world to me, man. Again, I have showered her in plenty of compliments about oh yeah, that's right. I gotta do the you interviewed with Meta, so that makes you an automatic VIP in my channel thing. I'm about but like you always have to I prefer it that way when the community shows up and just shows them that love. Again, I've always told Arlie that your community is just wonderful. The minute I show up, hi Meta, hi Meta, hi Meta. I love it. I love it every time, bro, because there's some communities, bro, the minute you show up, who's that? Who is this person? Huh? How do you know our streamer? It's just, come on, guys. Be nice to each other. Everybody gotta, I always think and stuff, like if I can make, just like Miss Arlandria said, if I can make your day better just because you watch this idiot on the screen, bro, then it's a whole thing and stuff, No, Arlie, you've earned it. Like you've earned it. It's not even like even if like you didn't think you're a constant lurker and you've been a constant friend ever since this whole Twitch thing started. Look, even Snorlax is happy that you're here. So that's just thing. I'm gonna end it right here. Give me like about 20 minutes. I'll be back with the DBZ thing and stuff. I would raid out, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all folks. It would look pretty funny if I raided out just to kind of like start streaming right afterwards and stuff, Nikolai. So let's not do that and stuff. I like to keep the energy that we had here today just with here and stuff. And I really appreciate y'all, stopping by, doing this, man. This is a pleasure project of mine, and I already have April's episode lined up and stuff. I guarantee you the guest ain't gonna surprise nobody. So but yeah, y'all can either watch the VOD back or catch us on YouTube. Jack, you were already interviewed, bro. Unless something happened, let's not. All right, relax. And yeah, man, I'll catch y'all then and stuff, man. Remember, guys, just be kind to one another. It doesn't cost you a thing and stuff. Make sure you shatter the spines of your enemies. Make sure that you hear the lamentation of their loved ones and have them set in front of you always, offering tribute. This is the Emperor's Corner. Remember, guys, it is not goodbye, but it is good night.